Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Matplotlib, Episode 1 of 5. You copy a plotting solution from Stack Overflow, paste it into your code, and suddenly your new chart is overriding the old one. The code looks right, but it behaves like a Frankenstein monster. This happens because most online examples mix two completely different ways of using the library without explaining why. To fix this, you need to understand the core identity, figures, axes, and interfaces. Matplotlib is the bedrock of Python visualization. Pandas, Seaborn, and many other libraries run on top of it, but developers often stumble on its architecture. To write clean visualization code, you must separate the container from the content. In Matplotlib, this means understanding the difference between a figure and an axis. The figure is your canvas. It is the top-level container that holds the entire window, the background, and all the elements inside it. But a figure does not draw data. For that, you need an axis. The axis is the actual plot. It is the region where your lines, bars, and scatter points live. A figure can hold multiple axes, like a grid of 4 subplots. Keep in mind, axes is not the plural of the word axis. An axis object contains 2 or 3 individual axis objects, which handle the specific number lines and ticks. You attach data to the axes, and the axis is attached to the figure. Once you know what these objects are, you have to decide how to interact with them. This is where the confusion starts. Matplotlib gives you 2 distinct ways to build a chart: the implicit interface and the explicit interface. The implicit interface relies on a module called pyplot. It tracks the state of your program behind the scenes. When you call a plotting function directly, Matplotlib assumes you want to draw on the currently active figure and axes. If none exist, it creates them for you. This is highly convenient for a quick throwaway script where you just need to inspect some data fast. But because it relies on hidden global state, it becomes unpredictable in larger applications. The explicit interface, often called the object-oriented interface, removes the guesswork. You instantiate your objects up front. First, you create the figure and the axes together, then you call methods directly on those specific objects. You never rely on the library to guess which plot you are targeting. If you are building a reusable dashboard, always use the explicit interface. You can write helper functions that take an axis object as an argument, plot data onto it, and return it. The function does not care about the global state of the application. It just modifies the object it was handed. This makes your code modular and testable. Here is the key insight. You can use either method, but you should never mix them. Use the implicit pyplot interface for rapid exploration in a notebook, and use the explicit object-oriented interface for production code. If you enjoy the show and want to support us, you can find us by searching for devstories.eu on Patreon. That's all for this one. Thanks for listening, and keep building.